Gareth, I have to say, Josh Warrington, we touched on it there. You heard from Josh in Lewis's bulletin, and he spoke to me this morning, battle-scarred, broken jaw, broken wrist, but he'll fight again. I mean, these guys, we keep on saying it, they are utter warriors, aren't they? Warrington was incredible on Saturday.
He was. It was a brilliant, dominant performance over Kiko Martinez. I thought he did a fantastic job in the fight. As you say, he broke his jaw. He was a bit dirty in the fight, used his head quite a lot. He could have had a point deducted for that, I thought, at times. But he's back to his best. He's clearly rejuvenated after the loss and the draw with Mauricio Lara of Mexico. Mexico, I mean. I'm dropping into Spanish there. Simon will enjoy that. Sí, claro. But look, he's got massive fights ahead of him. I said to you both yesterday on the show, I think fight Lee Wood first, massive British fight. All British fights are really popular at the moment, and then maybe go over and call it a day with a big fight in America with the likes of Leo Santa Cruz for the full WBA belt.
Okay, and just to re-emphasise, this situation with Usyk fighting Joshua's chance to right the wrong, it's been billed as a big fight, massive money fight in Saudi. You still have a hunch it won't end up being in Saudi Arabia?
I don't think it will. I think obviously there's massive offers being tabled. Joshua fought there in his rematch with Andy Ruiz when he was scuppered in New York in 2019 on his US debut. They went to Diriyah, didn't they? And I thought he was brilliant that night. But and he got paid $50 million as the challenger for the belts. Became a two-time world champion, heavyweight world champion. But I just think that for all the right reasons, they should be in a stadium here at Wembley or Tottenham, but not for all the wrong reasons.
What can the size of a fight in this country be from the terms of, we're talking about 120 million to go fight or 90 million to go fight in Saudi. What can we get to in this country?
Well, I think it's 40 million for him and 20 million for Usyk, something like that. So it's a
60 million. I mean, we've got 30 million. We've got 30 million. Frank's bid 30 million, hasn't he? Best part of 30 million for Tyson versus Dillian White. This is on a whole different scale.
Well, it is, because I think it's not just. This isn't just a boxing match anymore.
No.
This isn't just a heavyweight championship of the world for 3 belts. This is a moment in history. This could be one of the biggest fights in history for the simple reason that the leverage around it is built around the anthem of Ukraine being played and the flag being raised, and that there's a lot of political writing around it, and a lot of news other than just sport. It's bigger than sport.
Bloody nightmare for Joshua, isn't it?
Not really. I think it's great for him because I think part of his legacy will have been an involvement if he's thinking clearly.
Sure, but his legacy will be defined by if he loses this fight, and his fight is not helped by the fact that we're going to have might even have a partisan crowd for Alexander Usyk.
Well, there'll be half of them will be Ukrainian in there.
Yeah.
But that's great.
Donald is one of many who's saying a Ukrainian boxer who stopped for a while because of an invasion in his own country, now looking to fight in Saudi Arabia. You have to be joking. A lot of people just simply
he won't do it.
Usyk
won't take it.
Not having it.
Usyk won't take it.
Gareth, there's only you can do. The focus of attention has been on Ukraine, of course, and rightly so. Gareth got in touch with the Klitschkos, who you've known for many years, right?
Covered their careers, yeah.
Yeah, and you spoke with Vitaly Klitschko, who was in Kiev, and the subject came up on the message that Usyk could actually carry for Ukraine going back into the boxing ring. Have a listen.
We just a couple of hours ago, today morning, have a conversation with Vladimir. From one side to unite the nations, to have a stage to deliver very important messages to Ukrainian from one side. From another side, to leave the country. And maybe in 3 months, the country will be not exist. Difficult decision. I don't know. It's not clear answer for this question. It's decision by himself, but it's very important, we know, to be pro-Ukrainian and everywhere. Where are you? To deliver very important messages.
Yeah.
I actually plans to talk to Alexander Usyk, give him advices. So if he decide to make a fight, this fight have to be some special messages. If you ask me, if my decision will be to leave the country in this moment, maybe I decide to stay.
Vitaly's going to stay.
No, what he was saying was that I asked them both whether Vitaly and Vladimir, whether should Alexander Usyk go now? Would it be a worthy thing to do? But would they have been able to do it when they were younger and in their boxing career? And there's no way Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, would have left. He's a fighter in the true sense of the word. He would have stayed in Kiev, and that's what he was saying at the end.
Interesting there that Vitaly said, I will be speaking to Usyk.
Yeah.
So that if and when he gets in the ring with Joshua, wherever the heck that is, he gets the right message out.
Yeah, and also in the entire build up to the fight, in I can just see it already. I'm visualizing, but press week where they're at the press conference, and a lot of the questions he's tabling are about what it's been like, why he wants to leave Ukraine at the moment, not serve in the territorial forces, what bigger picture he can create. I think it will create global news if it happens. But like we're saying, let's give it the right platform in the right place. The finger is on the pulse in this city. It's one of the big news and media cities in the world.
In London.
Come here. Yeah, come here.
So, I mean, you have to think, Simon, the fight on June the 25th, that indeed is going to be the day.
Yeah.
So much of the build-up will be concentrating around Usyk and his homeland, which can only be good for the plight of the Ukrainians.
Yeah, of course. And that's the very point that Gareth is making. The flip side to this argument is I do think it's a very challenging one for Anthony Joshua, because not only has he got to fight a man that pretty much took him to school, and even though we make the argument that he fought the wrong fight, we've now got a man that's imbued with even more confidence than he went into the first fight, with a nation behind him, with the world behind him, because of the circumstances. So Joshua is in a terrible situation. If he wins, there's going to be people that are quite sad that a Ukrainian fighter was lost. So he's in this really invidious position. But the bottom line is this fight elevates a whole raft of other issues. Whether you believe, and some people don't, that sport needs to elevate certain things, it is part and parcel of today's fabric. It does. So here we are. We have a situation where a fight of this magnitude, it cannot. Gareth is absolutely right, and I'm glad he verbalised it. Cannot be fought in an environment like the Middle East. It just can't. It's fundamentally wrong across the board. I mean, we've got to have the argument about sports washing as a matter of course, but even more so.
Yeah.
Well,
Usyk
can add to the debate. I mean, I don't know if you've talked about this. I'm sure you have. About whether Ukraine should get a bye to the World Cup, which I think they should do. All of those kind of aspects.
No.
He can bring all that up, but he can raise it as an issue.
I did read that ridiculous virtue signalling article written by your namesake in one of the newspapers about the Scots stepping aside and the Welsh stepping aside. And the Ukrainians wouldn't want that anyway. They're a proud nation. They want to participate. They want to compete. They don't want to be handed. Give them the World Cup. By that logic, let's extend it beyond that. Let's give them the World Cup. It's ridiculous. That's a silly argument. The bottom line is there is a lot of focus and a lot of support for the West towards Ukraine. There's a certain point the West will go to, but in this instance, Alexander Usyk will carry the weight of the nation and the world's emotions into a ring.
You're right. And Gareth, you've got your podcast tonight. You're in here working with Adi Oladipo. What have you got later on?
Well, a lot more of the Klitschkos we're going to discuss today. We're going to look back at Josh Warrington and Richard Riakporhe at the weekend, look ahead to Savannah Marshall, who's defending her title, her women's WBO middleweight title, against Femke Hermans in Newcastle on Saturday night, and potentially, if she wins, a massive
Claressa Shields
and a super fight for the women.
Okay, muy bien.
Muy bien, todo bien. Mis camaradas.
Perfecto.
Don't worry. Listen, you can speak the language. He's got a smattering of it.
He's the great pretender with Spanish.
Oh, absolutely.
Listen, he's said so many nice things about me, Sam. I can never talk about his bling again and his packed lunch. I'm doing his crunchy packed lunch.
Are you still here?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.